Welcome to the course on data communication and networking, week 2, session 2. In this session, we are going to discuss effect of distance, attenuation and noise on the signals. We are also going to discuss on importance of frequency in data communication. In previous session, we have discussed about 4 types of basic conversions of signals. It just was introductory only. Analog to analog, digital to analog, analog to digital, and digital to digital signal conversion. In today's session, we'll discuss detail and much more quantified way why we require all this kind of conversation. Let's take one scenario, switching a light scenario. You can see over here there is a battery, and the battery symbol is mentioned as one uh, horizontal line, one small horizontal line, and one is a larger horizontal line. And over here, at other sides, you can see there is a bulb. This is symbol of bulb, and this is real bulb. Okay. So this is with respect to real scenario, and this diagram B is with respect to uh, just like it is from the engineering perspective. How does one engineer draw diagram in notebook? You can see over here there is a difference in these two diagrams. In this diagram A, the switch is open, and in diagram B, switch is closed. So if the switch is closed, bulb will glow, and if switch is open, bulb will be off. Here, one more assumption is made that distance between these two is 200 meter. Now, first we'll see the effect of this distance with the time traveled by the signal. To measure time traveled by signals, we require some measurement equipment. So we'll take one equipment that is known as multimeter device, which looks like this one. And what we want to measure a voltage. We want to measure a voltage. So voltmeter, the one cable is connected over here, and second cable is connected over here. But to measure a voltage, we'll place one voltmeter over here, and second the voltmeter will place over here at 200 meter distance. So please consider the distance between these two voltmeter is 200 meter. So this is actually the result if we measure at this end and this end. If we measure the voltage at both these end, so diagram A says that it's a turning on, so it's a result of the first voltmeter, and the diagram B is a result of second voltmeter. So you can, if you see very carefully, in diagram A, the signal starts at 1 microsecond, and in diagram B, signal starts at 2 microsecond. And we have already assumed that the distance in between these two is 200 meter. Let's look at one question. There is a delay before the voltage rises at the voltmeter when it is a 200 meter long wire. How much of delay? You can see in this diagram, the first voltmeter we have measured, the signal starts at 1 microsecond. At second voltmeter, the signal starts at 2 microsecond. So what is the difference between these two? It's a 2 minus 1, it's a 1 microsecond. So it's very easy. That answer is 1 microsecond. Voltage rises when the time is equal to 2 microsecond for the second voltmeter, and for the first voltmeter the switch was closed at the time of equal to 1 microsecond. So that's the reading starting of reading of first voltmeter. So there is a 1 microsecond delay between the switch being closed and the voltage changing 200 meter along the wire. So the answer is 1 microsecond. 2 minus 1. This is a diagram which shows that the switch was turned on at 1 microsecond and it was turned off at third microsecond. So and this is the measurement taken by the first voltmeter, and the same consequently in second voltmeter we can see, we can find the voltage at second microsecond, and it goes off at fourth microsecond. So how fast is the pulse traveling with respect to this diagram? To calculate it, the answer is the pulse travels 200 meter in 1 microsecond. 1 microsecond is 1 millionth of second. So if we multiply by, it's a 200 into 1 million. So it travels for this much meters. So 2 into 10 raised to 8 meters for 1 second. So answer is 2 into 10 raised to 8 meter per second. Take the same scenario and answer this question. The question is, assuming that the pulse continues to travel at the same speed as we have discussed previously, draw a graph of voltage against time for measurement taken 600 meters from the switch. So this is the same pulse we are taking it the first voltmeter, and if we place second voltmeter after 600 meters, what will be the graph? Graph would be like this one. So earlier we saw for 200 meter, the graph started at 2 microsecond, but for 600, so this is 200 meter, next is 200 meter, third is 200 meter, so that it has to start at 4th microsecond, and the duration is 2 seconds for which we turn on and off the switch, so that's why it remains same, turn oning off a switch and turning off of a switch. Now let's go ahead, continue with the same example. At 1 microsecond, switch will be turned on. At third microsecond, switch will be turned off, and this is measurement taken at first voltmeter. And it actually at the receiver side, we can receive this kind of signal, not exactly what we have sent. So you can see over here in these received signals or another voltmeter, you can see this is a curve over here. You can see the curve over here. There are multiple curves over here, the curves over here as well. So why the signal mismatch? Why the signal mismatch happens? The reason for this one is attenuation and noise. So what is attenuation? Attenuation reduces the height of the pulse. So earlier we have seen in this previous diagram that the sender has sent a signal at 1.2 volt, but a receiver side that after 200-meter distance we will not get exactly 1.2 volt. It reduces the height of the volt, so might be it's a 1.0 volt. So this is the effect of attenuation, and attenuation is happens because of the resistance of cable that we have seen big 2 session 1. The second parameter is noise. The distortion alters the pulse, rounding the corners and generally changing the shape. So these rounding of pulse, instead of straight line there is a curve over here. So that is because of distortion, and distortion happens because of noise. There are two types of noise, external noise and internal noise. Right now we are considering only internal noise. Attenuation and distortion becomes worse as the pulse travels further. So this is a question of longer data transmission. So what is the solution? The solution is use amplifier. So let's take one example where the transmitted pulse is mentioned over here. This is transmitted pulse. This is a long cable, and after a long cable, at receiver side, you will receive this curved line. Not exactly what it has received by the sent by the sender. We have to put regenerator which regenerates signals or amplifies signals, and it creates original signal. So these signals is same as the send signal. For longer distance, for successive transmission, we require multiple repeaters over here. So this is original transmitted signal. Received distance may be 200 meter or 1 kilometer. Then again it regenerates signals it creates original signal and then it sent over the wire. Again, it after a certain interval of time, one more amplifier is placed. It amplifies signals. Again, it amplifies signals in third amplifier and it generates original signal. So let's discuss how much distance covered by a signal in form of equation. So this is equation, very simple equation. Distance equal to propagation time into speed, where d denotes distance, t denotes propagation time, and v denotes speed. If you know the distance traveled and speed but want to calculate the propagation time, we may use the alteration of equation. It's a rearranging of these all these parameters. Propagation time equal to distance upon speed. So we can use interchangeably. If you want to find time, then distance upon speed. If you want to find speed, distance upon time. And if you want to find distance, we can have a time into speed. One more question with respect to satellite communication. This is a satellite where there are two ground stations. Consider this path only. For communication satellites to be a geostationary orbit, it has to be around 36,000 kilometers above the Earth. The question is how much delay will be introduced to a radio signal by traveling to go up and back. So please consider it's a go up and back. Time travel to go up and back. We want to find out total time the signal travels from here Earth station 1 to satellite and satellites to another Earth station. Consider the radio signals travel at the speed of 3 into 10 raised to 8 meter per second, and you should also assume that the signal goes straight up and down direction. One more assumption, that there is no noise and there is no attenuation of the signal, which simplifies our calculation. So we first write the distance and speed in constant units. The speed in units is 3 into 10 raised to 8 meter per second. So it's a 36,000 kilometer. The multiplier kilo is 1000, as you are aware very well. It's a 36,000 kilometer equivalent to 3630 followed by 30, which is equivalent to 3.6 into 10 raised to meter. And distance from one satellite, as I already discussed, that from ground stations to satellites, satellites to ground station, it's a round trip. So we have to multiply this distance by 2. So it comes up 7.2 into 10 raised to 7 meter. So propagation time, we can calculate the distance 7.2 into 10 raised to 7 upon the speed of signal, that's 3 into 10 raised to 8. So if we divide these two, we will get 0.24 seconds. So the signal will take 0.24 seconds to go up and again to come down on Earth station.